I am honestly still reeling from the whispers circulating behind the scenes in Port Charles because what I am hearing is absolutely enough to stop your heart right in its tracks. We all thought the nightmare ended with the tragic loss of Britt, a woman who had finally found some semblance of redemption. But if you ask me, the surface is barely scratching the truth of what really went down in that harbor warehouse. It feels like every single person in this town has been living a lie, especially when you consider the haunting, grainy footage that started making the rounds regarding her final hours. There is this overwhelming sense that we were never meant to know about the cold fusion project. And Britt, smart, tactical, and dangerously desperate, was likely holding all the cards until someone decided she had become an intolerable liability. I have been analyzing the timeline, and it seems almost impossible that she would just stumble into a trap without having a contingency plan, which makes the involvement of someone like Jason even more critical to the narrative we are being fed. Let us talk about the absolute devastation that hit everyone when the news broke that Britt was gone, leaving a trail of blood and a broken-hearted Jason to pick up the pieces. You remember that iconic gut-wrenching scene where Jason found her necklace, right? That wasn't just a prop. That was a signal. The fact that Rocco vanished into thin air for weeks on end is the most terrifying part of this entire saga, and it really forces us to question if the boy was just an accidental witness or if he was the primary target all along. If you ask me, the timing of his reappearance is way too convenient to be pure luck. When Dante and Lulu finally got that mysterious, encrypted call, it became clear that someone, a phantom player we have yet to identify, had been keeping the kid hidden to ensure his silence. My gut tells me that Rocco is the key to dismantling an entire network of corruption that reaches far higher than just a few street-level thugs, and the sheer terror in his eyes when he mentions that man with the silver ring is absolutely chilling. It is the kind of detail that suggests he didn't just see a crime, he saw the face of an untouchable power. Now, let us dig deeper into the psychology of this mystery, because I am convinced that the narrative about Britt being an innocent victim is a massive, carefully crafted deception. Think about it. Why would she be running with Rocco if she didn't have something that could bring down the entire establishment? I suspect that the Cold Fusion project was just the tip of the iceberg, and Britt might have been gathering evidence for a long time, playing a dangerous game of cat and mouse while the rest of us were distracted by the usual drama. It is entirely possible that she knew her time was running out, which explains why she reached out to Jason at the 11th hour. If Jason had arrived just 10 minutes earlier, would the outcome have been different? Probably not. The forces at play, the kind of people who operate in the shadows of the WSB and the corporate elite, don't leave loose ends, and they certainly don't let people like Jason get in the way of their master plan. The fact that Brennan is now circling the drain of this investigation makes me think that we are looking at a multi-layered conspiracy where no one is clean, not even our favorite heroes. What truly gets me, and what I think should have every fan on high alert, is the transformation in Rocco since his return to Port Charles. He isn't just traumatized, he is carrying the weight of a secret that could burn this town to the ground if it ever got out. Every time he mentions that silver ring, you can see the panic spike in his demeanor, and it forces us to ask, who in our current orbit fits that profile? Could it be a high-ranking official? A corporate titan we thought was above reproach? The possibilities are endless and frankly terrifying. We are looking at a situation where the truth is being suppressed by people who are experts at gaslighting an entire city, and the only way to get to the bottom of it is to follow the breadcrumbs that Britt left behind, if they even exist anymore. I am betting that the necklace Jason found wasn't just a memento. It was a map, or perhaps a cipher, that we have all been too grief-stricken to properly decode. If you consider the involvement of the WSB, it implies that this isn't just a local mob turf war or a petty crime. This is international, high-stakes espionage. Why would they care so much about a doctor and a boy? Because the cold fusion data is likely being used to power something far more sinister than a hospital generator. It is absolutely delicious in its complexity, but it is also a ticking time bomb. The tension between Jason and the forces hunting him is reaching a boiling point, and I suspect that we are about to see a side of him that we haven't witnessed in years, a raw, unchecked, and focused version of the man who will stop at nothing to avenge a friend he clearly cared for more than he ever dared to admit. The way he has been watching the periphery, waiting for the right moment to strike, suggests that he knows something we don't. And he is holding his cards close to his chest until the Silver Ring Killer makes their next move. I really want you to consider the possibility that Britt is still out there, hiding in plain sight, or perhaps being held for information that she hasn't revealed yet. The idea that she could have been silenced so easily just doesn't sit right with the character we have come to know and love, a woman who has survived everything life could throw at her. If she is truly dead, then why does it feel like the investigation is being steered away from the truth by people in positions of power? We are looking at a cover-up of epic proportions, and if the residents of Port Charles don't wake up to the reality of the threat, the consequences will be catastrophic. Every time I see Dante or Lulu looking at Rocco, I wonder what they are missing, what they are choosing to ignore, because the truth is too painful to bear. Zan, this isn't just a mystery. It is a full-blown war for the soul of the city, and everyone is caught in the crossfire. I am keeping a very close eye on how this progresses because the pieces are moving faster than any of us can keep up with. Every interaction between the key players feels weighted with suspicion, and the silence from the corridors of power is deafening. If you ask me, the silver ring is the primary clue that will ultimately shatter the facade of the people who think they can control the outcome of this tragedy. Is there a mole within the police force? Is the threat coming from inside the hospital itself? We are being kept on the edge of our seats for a reason, and I honestly believe that the answers will be more shocking than anything we have speculated so far. The road ahead is paved with danger, and I would bet my life that we haven't seen the last of the unexpected twists in this narrative. The stakes have never been higher, and the danger has never felt this real. So keep your eyes glued to the screen, because we are witnessing something that will define the history of the show for years to come. Do not miss a single second of what is coming, because the truth is about to be revealed in the most explosive way possible.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.